Hello everybody, Roxabox90 here, back with some more Eldritch Moon spoilers this evening. We got a bunch of stuff to run through, including a new Planeswalker. Yes, spoiled early. I thought it was supposed to be this around Wednesday this week, but spoiled a little bit early. Whispers of Emrakul is 2 for a sorcery. Target opponent discards a card at random. Delirium, they discard 2 at random. This reminds me of Hymn to Turak. Hymn to Turak is one of the most broken cards ever printed in Magic. One of the many. This card screams that because it's not double black, but of course it's not a guaranteed 2 for 1. I like that it scales throughout the game. It seems a slightly more balanced version of it, and yeah, well designed, in my opinion. Then we got this one, Stormkirk Mystic, 3 for a 3/2. Vampire Horror with Trample. Whenever he does combat damage to a player, exile top card of your library, and until end of turn you can cast that with Madness of 2. I don't love this card. There's so many 2 to 3 drops in this set and last that fits for what Red-Black wants to be doing. Yes, it is a Madness target. Yes, it does give you potential card draw for damage. It has that Trample. So it has a good shot of seeing play, but there's just so many cards in this set I really don't know the constructed viability for it. Then we got Emrakul's Evangel? 3 for a 3/2 Human Horror, that you tap and sacrifice it, and any number of other non-Eldrazi creatures to make 3/2 Eldrazi creatures for each one. I like that it's defensive against removal spells, and it can potentially turn a bunch of mana dork style creatures into bigger creatures, but other than that, I mean, I guess it's a way of leveling up your tokens, view it that way, but it seems like a lot of work and a little bit risky for what it takes. Probably be a good card in limited. I don't think it's going to get very far in constructed. We got a flip card. Ulvenwald Captive is 2 for a 1/2 Defender. Werewolf Horror, tapped for a green. 7 to transform it. It's interesting they have these cards in the set where you pay mana to transform, because that gives you much more control than having your opponent be able to flip back and forth. But it turns into a 4/6 that taps for 2. So a Soul Ring on a creature, and it's a mana dork. Seems solid overall. Not necessarily constructed playable, but solid limited card. Collective Brutality and Distended by Mindbender, I think they're both very good rares. Collective Brutality is 2 for a sorcery with Escalate, you discard a card, so it enables Madness, and then choose one or more. Either they reveal their hand, you choose an instant sorcery from it, they discard it. A little bit risky in the set because, again, Madness, but you get to decide the card, so not as big a deal. Target creature gets 2/2, target opponent loses life, gain life. This seems very escalatable. And the fact that it enables your Madness seems pretty brutal. Collective Brutality. Distended Mindbender is 8 for a 5/5 with Emerge 7, and then whenever you cast it, your target opponent reveals a hand, you choose a non-land card. When card might cost 3 or less, card might cost 4 or less. What I like about this card is it's a bomb creature, fits very well into a curve, and that you're almost always guaranteed to hit something and potentially hit 2 things. That's a powerhouse. I think a very solid creature and really creepy artwork. I'm just going to go to Tamiyo first because, come on, you guys want to see that first. It's a Bant creature. Now people say, why Bant? Seriously, Tamiyo, why does she have to be Bant? And mono blue at most make her a 2-color. Why would she, who is the scholar, be 3 colors, green, blue, and white? Well, because she's not black and red, and because, I'm pretty sure Mark Rosewater said this at some point, they couldn't fit her as a 6 planeswalker without it being a much more narrow card. It just wouldn't fit within development. I'm personally fine with that. I could always use more Bant walkers, and it's great flavor-wise. Why? Because mechanic-wise, because it connects with her mechanics. 4 for a 4 loyalty. Solid. Of course, difficult to play, but solid. +1, choose up to 2 target creatures until your next turn. Whenever either of the creatures deal combat damage, you draw a card. What's great about this is it doesn't have to be your creatures. It can be your opponent's creatures. So if you know you're playing her on a board that's very... your opponent has board control, that's fine. Even if they're attacking her to remove her, it absorbs damage, and you draw cards from those creatures. Pseudo-defensive. But then, she actually has a defensive thing. -2, tap up to 2 target non-land permanents. They don't untap during their controller's next untap step. Also, very solid, very powerful defensive ability. So the +1 is kind of green-white style. Or, yeah, no, green-blue. The -2 is very blue-white, and the -7 is you draw 3 cards and then you can play stuff for free, which is a very blue-heavy mechanic feel to it. So her abilities each fit with the different combinations, all totaling up into a 3-color planeswalker. I think she's very powerful for Commander. It's going to be very tough, very tough to make her work in a standard environment, but she is really strong. Really strong walker. So there's definitely potential there. Limited, as usual, is bomb insane. Of course, you have to get perfect colors in your seal pool, and it's be very hard to draft towards her, but if you get her, make it work. She seems very strong. Wailing Ghoul is 2 for 1/3 whenever it enters the battlefield. Put 2 cards from your library into your graveyard. Okay, feeds Delirium, decent creature. If you're running a Delirium style deck, it could work. Prey Upon, classic removal spell. I like how they twisted the artwork, where instead of 2 living creatures, now you have this Eldrazi-esque wolf attacking another. And then Peace of Mind, 2 for an enchantment, 1 discarded card, you gain 3 life. Solid for limited, because it's a Madness enabler and a Delirium enabler. That also gives you life gain, but it's not going to see play anywhere else. Turn Aside, counterspell that targets a permanent you control. I never love this counterspell, if you can call it a counterspell, because it's such a weak spell. Maybe a sideboard card unlimited. I don't really see it getting much out there otherwise. That's all we got for this evening. I hope this week continues to rock our world. Tamiyo is very solid. I personally enjoy her very, very much. I'm happy to see a new one. I hope you guys are too, but of course, let me know your thoughts about these cards down below in the comment section. If you enjoyed the video, please tap the like button if you're new to the channel. Check in and subscribe. We have 15,000 subscriber giveaway going on. Part 2 is coming out as well, so stay tuned for that. And as always, Roxabox90 signing out. I'll see you guys next time.